So even if it goes up like really high, this should be fine. Holy crap! It generates so much, like way more than I can actually handle. Hello everybody and welcome back to some more All the Mods 9. Today we are going to be doing something that probably should have been done a little bit sooner, but we're going to be making a much better power source than what we've had before. So if you remember in the mining dimension, I've had this ethylene gas burning generator set up, which is powering my entire mining operation with my quarry. It's also powering all of the machines that are currently in the mining dimension, as well as anything that is hooked up to my current network. But whenever I actually turn on my quarry, all these machines running at once, it starts to struggle a little bit. It takes a little bit to go down because it does have all this backlog, but that's still a problem because eventually I am going to start having more machines be active at once, and that's going to come sooner rather than later. So I want to nip this in the bud right now and make a reactor. And the reactor I've actually chosen is going to come from the Extreme Reactors mod for two reasons. One, these generate a crap ton of power, and two, they are very, very cheap for where I'm at right now. Oh yeah, and I guess 2.5, these ones don't blow up, as far as I know. So to get started with this line, you would need to get some uranium, which I've already acquired, and I have actually already started farming with my laser drill that actually is also making the vibranium, because apparently those two both come from the same biome and dimension, so I just threw this one in there as well. Then after that, you need some graphite, which I accidentally got because for some reason, some coal got smelted when I was setting up the processing in the mining dimension, and that's how you get graphite. So now, after that, we could actually go ahead and start making the reactor components. First and foremost, we would need to make this thing right here, which is called the reactor casing. It's the basic form, and it needs sand. You know what's funny is, like, I think yesterday while I was off screen and I was exploring, and I got a bunch of sand that I had thrown away, and I needed sand now. Alright, so I got my sand, and then we just mix it with 4 graphite bars and then 4 iron, and then we can go ahead and get ourselves the reactor casing basic. We are going to need a lot more of those, but for right now, this should be a good enough amount just to be able to progress a little bit more. So now we can also go ahead and get this reactor glass, and that is then this mission now completely done. It actually gives us some more reactor casings, which is very helpful. So next up, for the reactor to actually power things, it needs something called control rods. These control rods right here need to have something on top of them called the reactor control rod, which will go on top of all of them that we're going to need. It's going to need some more reactor casings and some more graphite, so I'm going to need to get a few more graphite. Wow, this is just going to take a lot of graphite. Good thing I've got a lot of coal. Alright, I managed to get some more. Hopefully 4 stacks of the bars should be enough, but we're only going to be making 3 of these. Next up, we're going to need to make the actual fuel rods, and we're going to need to make just 9 of these. That should be good. That used up 9 of my uranium, though. It's such a valuable resource. I don't want to get rid of it so easily. But with that one, this one is now done, and that gives us even more reactor casings. Holy crap. So next up, we need to get ourselves the Active Forge Energy Power Tap. This thing is incredibly easy to get, and it's just going to be what will allow us to take power out of this thing. And then we need to get ourselves this solid access port. I think we need 2 of them. That sounds about right, but if I ever need to make another one outside of that, I can. Okay, for some reason it didn't put more in, but you know what? That's okay. Cool. So now that we've gotten that, we can now go ahead and proceed to make the controller. There we go. Now we got the reactor controller. Okay, well, it used up all my reactor casings, but I have enough of everything else. So it takes 21 of the reactor casings to make the basic 3x3x3. But then you need to have another 16 in your inventory, it looks like, to be able to make the 5x5x5, which is the one that we're going to be making. So I need to get a bit more of the reactor casings, and then we can go over and construct this reactor.
5 minutes later.
I've gathered up everything that we're gonna need, so now we just need to start up building this. So we need to go 5 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Am I still within this new chunk? I am. I'm doing this in the mining dimension because there will be no distractions and nothing else to interfere with this thing. So hopefully this will work out so much better over here. And then we got our little 5x5 platform right at the bottom right there. Okay, I don't know why hover mode turned off, but that should be good right there. There we go. Now we need to build up by 4 on each of the corners right over here. And then once they're all built up like this, we can then connect all of them over like so. And bring this last part over here. And there we go. That's most of the walls pretty much done right there. So now that that's done, we can go ahead and then put our reactor controller here, put a solid access port there, and then the active energy port right there. And then we can go ahead and put the other solid access port right over here. That's where the waste will come out. And then after that, we could start to fill up the inside of this. So we're gonna go ahead and then put these rods right here in the center, all connected, all going up to here, and then at the tippity top, because apparently this does go up to here, that is where we can put the control rods. And then to the adjacent sides of this, we can put a moderator block. The moderator block I have chosen is diamond, because the diamonds are probably one of the best moderator blocks I have access to right now. I think the best one, I think it's called Enderium or something like that. I don't really know. And then at the top right here, we can go ahead and put more casings. I didn't know if I could use the glass up here to do this, so I decided to just not do that just to be safe. So then after that, oh, please tell me this is a... Okay, it's breakable. Okay, good. So then after that, we just need to put all these here. And if this works, this should form a multi-block structure. If it does not work, then it won't do that, and then we'll be able to find out what went wrong pretty easily, actually. If I can just go ahead and get that all right there. Okay, it worked. Because it all formulated together, you can kind of see by these lines all connecting here now. This is definitely working. So now we can go into here, and there it is. It's all on. So right here, this is where we can take energy out. And right here, this should be where we can input our fuel, which is going to be this uranium. Now, right over here, this is where the output is going to be. I'm not sure if that will output. Okay, wait, I can change it in here. So I can change it to the inlet or the outlet. Okay, so we want this one to be the outlet, so that way it will output our waste. And then we can go ahead and then put a pipe right there. And then once this thing starts to make its waste, we can then go ahead and then put it in here. And that's actually one of the reasons why I made these moderator blocks inside of there, was to reduce the amount of waste that we are going to make, which means that the fuel will be far more efficient. And then right over here, we can then put another pipe, and then here will be for our uranium. Now, I could do more of this. Wait, is it going in? Oh, it's going in. Wait, did it activate? Oh, it's activated. Wait, is it supposed to be? Oh, wait, no, it's not activated because I didn't turn it on, okay? But right there, that is the fuel. That is the uranium going right into there. That is good. We would ideally like to get more of these, but I don't really have a way to get the uranium over to here. I'll figure that out later on, but for right now, this should work. So let's go ahead and then put our flux plug right here and then change that to all the power. And then I guess let's just turn this baby on and see. The core heat is going up. This thing shouldn't be able to blow up. So even if it goes up like really high, this should be fine. The internal energy buff. Holy crap! Wait, MFE? Dude, that is so cool. It generates so much, like way more than I can actually handle. Dude, this is sick. I am so glad this thing cannot blow up. Do we have any waste yet? We do not actually have any waste yet. That is really good. So I think I know a really good way that we could spend some of this power, and that would actually be to invest in getting more of this uranium. So let's head on over to a place that really could use some more power. Alrighty, so we're over at the laser drill, which is generating the vibranium and the uranium. Now then, if I want to give this thing more power, I need to put a pipe upgrade into here. And now this thing will start to send all these things even more power. But they aren't really going to make use of it unless I put in these upgrades. We have the efficiency, processing, and speed tier 2, And once I put those into there, it's going to start needing a bit more power, but now it's also going to start going by even faster, which means we have more of a chance to get ourselves the uranium that we are going to need, and we're also going to get even more vibranium. But the uranium is really the most important one, and there we go. Now it's all upgraded. It's using about, I think the highest I'm seeing is 3,000. It's either a 3 or an 8. It's going by really fast. But now, oh my lord, look at how fast it's going up. Dude, it's going so fast. And there was some uranium right there. But as for how to actually get uranium from my main system in the other dimension over to here, I have an idea as to how I'm going to do that. But it is going to take me a bit personally to be able to get everything I need. Because if we go back over to the applied energetics thing, because that is the storage system we have, in order to wirelessly transfer things over between dimensions, we would need a quantum network bridge. Now, I already made the singularities, but what we would need would be 2 of these quantum link chambers, which is the core, and then 16 of these quantum rings. Both of these things are enough to make 2 of the bridges. Now, in order for me to make the quantum ring, I would actually need an energy cell, 1 energy engineering processor, 2 logic processors, and a dense smart cable. It'd be a lot of processes, but if I did all of that and then had an exporter right up to here rather than all of this for my uranium and then had that filtered. So yeah, I'll do all of that off screen. I'll gather up all the materials and then I'll set it up on screen so that way we can then have the final setup here. So that way this thing will be perfectly self-reliant and we will no longer need to interfere with this thing as long as there's nothing going wrong.
1 hour later.
Alrighty, it took me about like 1.5 hours or so, but I managed to get everything we need. So what you need to do is you need to put these quantum rings right here in this formation to where there's a little space in between this, but they make a little square. And then we put the link chamber in the middle, and once it does that, you know that this thing is ready. I've already set up the other one in the overworld, so now all we need to do is put the quantum singularity into here, and it should be good now. All I need to do is connect this. Okay, apparently I can't connect it from there, that's fine. But I just need to connect this thing all the way over to here, and then we can go ahead and then put an export bus on it. But I want to put the export bus beforehand because I don't know if it'll start doing the wrong things if I don't put this filter here now. So we're just going to put that there, and then we can place that. And now, if I were to take out the uranium, does it put it in? It does not. Interesting. It's still offline, it says. Alrighty, there we go. I got it working. So the problem was actually back home at the base. At the other one of this, it was actually taking too much power for my initial power source thing to handle. So I actually had to hook up the power from this thing over to there. And it is currently pumping in over there, and it's handling it very, very nicely. So hopefully this should remain. It might not be going since it's not chunk loaded over there. I should probably check that actually just to make sure. Alrighty, I just checked. Apparently it is actually chunk loaded the whole time. So this is still going to work. So there we go. This is good. I can take up to 32 channels out from this thing. So since I probably won't really be doing that much though, I think this will be fine, as long as we have this one right here. So, one thing to note with these things is, these two, this one and the one in the overworld, they are connected to each other permanently without any other exception, because of the entangled singularity inside of it. If I took this entangled singularity out and moved it to another one of these things, the other one would then connect to that one, because the singularities are connected to each other. So if I ever wanted to move to another dimension with another thing, I would need to set up another one of these. Now, one thing to note with the extreme reactors is I could actually cool it if I wanted to like put a fluid in there, and then that would would then make steam, and then I could then use a turbine, kind of like with the mechanism system. But I don't want to do that currently because that would involve making dense ones, which would involve a lot of steel, which I don't really have right now. For right now, I think we're done with the extreme reactors. We will have to get back to it eventually, because for Incenite, which is going to be essential for the Altamodium star, we are going to need to do quite a lot of processing, but that will be for another time. So let's go ahead and then mark off all of our rewards. Holy crap. We got a lot of stuff from all of this. Holy crap. We got diamonds. I don't need diamond sight. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, and of course we got this. Oh hey, gold sight. Very nice. Ooh, more rewards. Iron ingot. Yum. Delicious. I love it all. What about you? Tertium gemstone. Neat. I actually got Supremium Essence a while ago from a random award, so I managed to already get all of that anyways. Okay, is there anything else? Oh my gosh, there is. Uncommon. Wither skeleton skull. Delicious. Anything else? No. Good. Thank God. Did you like this video? Good. Then be sure to check out our last All the Mods 9 video where we managed to get ourselves some auto crafting, and we also did the Hustle neural networks so that we could farm some mob resources. Bye bye!